We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, via YouTube streaming, and also via Skype online. Each one of you is welcomed to this live streaming. After explaining the sutras for entering the inner center, it is time for the question and answers. I had taken one question last week. It is said that love is enough. And if you are in love, then no meditation technique is needed. Please explain. Certain things need to be understood. Love and meditation are not separate. Love and meditation are two sides of the same coin. If you start your journey through love, the ultimate destination is meditation. When you start your journey through meditation, ultimately you reach love. If you are really in love, you will not inquire at all about meditation. Because love is such a total fulfillment that it is never felt that something else is lacking. There is a gap that needs to be fulfilled. That there is a gap that needs to be filled. If you feel something more is needed, that means there is a gap. If you feel that something more is to be done and experienced, then love is just a feeling, not the reality. You feel that you are in love, but the symptoms shows that you are not in love. What are the symptoms to know that you are in love? What are the symptoms that you have experienced love? There are three symptoms. The first is absolute contentment. If you have known love, if you have experienced love, there will be total contentment. Nothing else is needed, not even God. It is in that state of total fulfillment Jesus proclaimed God is love. First thing, there will be total contentment. You know what total contentment means. The second is there is no future. This very moment of love is all, it is eternity. No next moment, no future, no tomorrow is needed. Love is a happening in the present, in this moment. And the third thing is, if you have experienced love, you cease to exist. You cease to exist. Cease to be. You are no more. If you are still, that means you have not entered the temple of love. First is total contentment. Not even God is needed. Second, you are in the moment, there is no future. And the third is you cease to be. The drop has merged into the ocean. If these three things happen, if you are not, then who is going to meditate? If there is no future, then all methods become useless, because methods are all for future, for results. And if at this moment you are contented, where is the motivation to do anything else? There is a school of psychologists and this is one of the most significant trends in modern thinking, that started with William Reich. He said every mental disease arises because of the lack of love. Because you cannot feel deep love, because you cannot be in it totally, this unfulfilled being craves for fulfillment in many dimensions. When I say, if you can love, nothing is needed, I do not mean that then love is enough. I mean, once you love deeply, love becomes the door. Just like any meditation. What is meditation going to do? These three things will create contentment. It will allow you to remain in the present, help you to remain in the present, and destroy your ego when you do not exist. These three things meditation is going to do with when you use any of the techniques. What are the three things? It will create contentment. It will bring you to this very moment, present moment. And it will destroy your ego. If natural methods have been missed, then other artificial methods have to be supplied. But one can feel that one is in love. Then three things will become criteria for him. He will think that these should be made the touchstone, the measure, and he will observe whether these three things are happening or not. If they are happening, then his feeling can be many other things, but not love. And the feeling of love is a great phenomenon. It can be many things. It can be lust. It can be simple sex. It can be possessive tendency. It can be just occupation, because you cannot be alone and you need someone because you are afraid and you need security. The presence of the other helps you to be secure. Or it may be sexual relationship. The energy needs outlets. Energy goes on accumulating, and when it is accumulated, it becomes a burden. You have to throw it and release it. So your love may be just a release of the energy. Love can be many things, and love is indeed many things. And ordinarily, love is many things other than love. To me, love is meditation. Try this. With your lover, be in meditation. Whenever your lover or beloved is present, be in deep love. Make this presence of each other a meditative state. Ordinarily, what we do is just the opposite. Whenever the lovers are together, they are fighting. When they are separate, they begin to think about each other, and when they are together, they start fighting. When they are separated again, they again start thinking about each other. And when they are put together, the fight starts again. And this we call love. Is it love? So certain points are to be suggested. First, make the presence of your lover or beloved a meditative state. Be silent. Remain close, but silent. Use each other's presence to drop the mind. Do not think. If you are thinking while your lover is with you, then you are not really with the lover. Your lover, how can be? You are both there, sitting next to one another, but miles apart. You are thinking your thoughts, and your lover is thinking his thoughts. You just appear to be near, but not really. Because when two minds are thinking, they are poles apart. Real love makes thinking impossible. With love, thinking ceases. In the presence of your beloved or lover, cease completely to think, then only you are near. Then suddenly you are one. Bodies can separate you, and they do. Then deep down within the body, someone has broken all the barriers. It is the silence that breaks the barriers. That is one thing. Make your relationship a sacred phenomenon. When you are really in love, the object of love becomes divine. If it is not, know well that your love is still a relationship. But you have never felt any reverence for your beloved. You may have felt many other things, but never reverence. It seems inconceivable, but in India we have tried many ways. That is why India has been insisting that this love relationship between man and woman should be a sacred phenomenon, not a worldly relationship or worldly affair. The lover and the beloved become divine. You cannot look at them in any other way except the divine. I wonder, have you ever felt reverence for your wife or your husband? The very thing seems to be irrelevant. Reverence for wife, reverence for husband, there is no question. You can feel condemnation. You can feel everything but not reverence. The relationship is just worldly. You are using each other. The wife may say that she respects her husband, but I have never seen a single wife who really loves her husband. Traditionally, because it has been convention to respect the husband, the wife goes on saying that she respects, and so she will not even utter his name. But that does not mean you respect. She says that she will not call her husband by the name, not because of respect, because she can utter other things, but she will not take his name just traditionally. Reverence is totally a different thing. In the presence of your beloved or your lover, feel reverence. If you can see the divine in your beloved or lover, you can see him. You cannot see him anywhere else. How can you see him in a tree where no relationship exists, where no deep intimacy prevails? How can you see him in a rock or a tree? They are not related. If you can see him in the person you love, if God is not felt there, he cannot be felt anywhere else. And if he can be felt there, sooner or later you will feel him everywhere, because once the door is open, once you have the glimpse of divine in any person, then you cannot forget that glimpse. And because of that, then everything becomes a door. That is why I say love in itself is a meditation. If love has not become a meditation, then you know nothing about love. So do not think in contrast. or do not separate the two, that love and meditation are separate, whether to love or to meditate. Do not try to choose love or meditation. Love meditatively. Love meditatively and meditate lovingly. Do not create any division. Love is very natural phenomenon. It can be used as a vehicle, and Tantra has used love as a vehicle. Not only love, even sex has been used as a vehicle by Tantra. Tantra says that in deep sex act, you can meditate more easily than in any other state of the mind, because this is natural. Biological ecstasy is natural. But whatsoever is known by the sex act is nothing but the perverted form. So whenever such things are said, you feel uneasy, because whatsoever you have known in the name of sex is not really sex. It is just a shadow, because the whole society has cultivated your mind and sowed deceits that makes you against sex. Everyone is a suppressed person. And when there is suppression, natural sex is not possible. And whenever you say that you are in the sex act, a deep guilt feeling is always present there. That guilt feeling becomes a barrier, and one of the greatest opportunities lost. You could have used it to go deep down into yourself. Tantra says, be meditative in the act of sex. Feel the whole phenomena as holy. Never feel guilty. Rather feel blessed that nature has given you the opportunity, one source through which you can go deep into ecstasy meditatively. And then it will be totally free in it. Do not repress. Do not resist. Let the sexual act, let the sexual communion take hold of you. Forget yourself. Through all the inhibitions, be absolutely natural, and then you will feel a deep music arising in the body. When both bodies become one harmony, just as when the musical instruments are tuned, then you forget completely that you are, and still you will be. Then you forget the I. There will be no I. Just existence playing with existence. One being with another, and the two becoming one. There will be no thinking, future will cease to exist. You will be in the present, this very moment, without any guilt, without any inhibitions. Make it a meditation. And then In that very state, sex is transformed. Then sex becomes the door. If sex becomes the door, then by and by, sex ceases to be sexual. And a moment comes when sex has completely gone. Only it's the perfume of sex remains. That perfume, and what is the perfume of sex? What is the perfume of sex is love. And later on, even that perfume disappears, and then what remains is samadhi. The moment sex becomes a door, sex ceases to be. And when sex is no more, but its perfume remains, and love is the perfume or the fragrance of love, of sex. And then one day, that perfume also disappears, and there comes in its place samadhi. Tantra says nothing has to be taken as an enemy. Every energy is friendly. One has to know how to use it. So do not make it a choice. Transform your love into meditation and transform your meditation into love. Then soon you will forget the word and you will know the real thing, which is not the word. The word love is not love. The word meditation is not meditation. And the word God is not God. These are only words. And if you can penetrate in, then God, meditation, and love become one. And indeed, God, love, and meditation are three doors. What Hindus call Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram, Satchitanand. In the same way, God, meditation, and love become one. We will stop here and take another question tomorrow. Until then, take care and do have a pleasant day.